welcome to another episode of Your Chamber at Work. My name's Stacey Bruzzese, and I'll be your host for the day. Please help me welcome our first guest, Samuel Sasso, independent agent, Coco Early and Associates. Welcome, Sam. It's great to have you here today.
Thank you, Stacey. It's an honor to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, fairly new active member in the chamber you are,
Yes.
but you're quickly making connections. I see those relationships growing quickly, and your business too here in Greater Haverhill.
Yes.
So tell the audience a little bit about yourself and how you have really grown. So how you've come to grow so quickly in this area.
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Samuel Sasso. I'm 29 years old. I'm a longtime resident of Haverhill. Married. My wife, Jenny Sasso, is also a co-owner in a business that we have together, a professional cleaning company. And we have 3 beautiful young girls, all in, well, 2 are in the Haverhill public school system. 1 is still a baby, running around, giving us a run for our money. But she keeps us young, she keeps us energetic.
Of course.
And so I got started in real estate because my background was in business management. I'm a graduate of Northern Essex Community College, the business management program. And I knew I wanted to be in business. Before that, I was working as a family advocate for Head Start. I was doing mentor for Leahy Behavioral Health. So I was known in the community. I had the experience working with people, communicating, finding resources, problem solving, but I wanted to be more in a business setting. So I knew that I always wanted to be into real estate, especially as a potential investor. So I said, no better way to learn the business than to be in the business 100%.
Right.
And that's kind of what brought me here so far.
Excellent, excellent. So tell the audience a little bit more about starting up that business. I know you're affiliated with Coco Early, but you're an independent agent, so you really do all of your own stuff.
Yes.
And there is a process to becoming a realtor and getting into the business. So share a little bit about your experience with that.
Sure. So it was one day I was driving home and I saw the sign, license course, here. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I firmly believe that if you want to do something, you just have to do it. And that's how you get the ball rolling. So I pulled over on the side of the road. I hopped out. I went in and I said, sign me up. And I began the licensing course training. It's 40 hours in the school or wherever they're holding the course. But you have to be in the building. It's 40 hours. Once your 40 hours is complete, you are eligible to take the state and national exam. So it's a 2-part test. I remember waking up 3 hours early every day, going to bed 3 hours late, studying.
Sure.
I studied for about a month straight. I've never studied so hard for anything in my life. I've heard that people, oh my God, the horror stories, people fail, took them 3 times. So I studied my butt off, and I took the test in Boston. I passed the first time.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I interviewed with some local brokers. And after interviewing with the staff, specifically William Molina out of the Bradford office, one of the managing partners there, I just knew it was the right fit for me, bilingual in Spanish. And I felt that that's where my skills would be best put to use. They already had a well-established name, and I really like Coco Early because of the community involvement that they have.
Right.
And so I just felt that would be the best spot for me to start my business. I would be local. I would be in Haverhill, in Bradford, is where the office is. So I said, why not be in the community, which already knows me, as I start this new business.
Excellent. And are you serving families outside or homeowners, home buyers outside of Haverhill, or are you mainly focusing in the Haverhill area?
Great question. I service I'm licensed in Massachusetts, so I will go anywhere, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I have been doing a lot of business in Haverhill. Haverhill's been great to me. The community's been great, a lot of support. But I've also done deals in Lawrence, Methuen, Amesbury. So my specialty is the Merrimack Valley, especially being a longtime resident.
Absolutely.
I feel like I know the area, so I can best advise and kind of let potential buyers and that are moving or new to this area what the Merrimack Valley has to offer. So I definitely help anybody in the state of Massachusetts where my license is good. And I got into the business, again, like I said, because I was able to take my experience helping families and then put it into a business setting. So I'm still helping people out, whether it's homeowners, whether it's new home buyers. I'm still able to help people and also be in control of my own business. So it's a win-win.
Excellent, excellent. And what would you say has been the biggest catalyst to your success so far? Because you've quickly really grown into the role of agent in the area and become well known. So what would you say, what would you attribute the bulk of that success to?
Well, I would contribute a lot to my family.
Yep.
My mother and father are big supporters of my family, having a strong family first, and then the business comes. My wife, who supports me as well. When I'm working, she's with the children, keeping the house. And so those are definitely my foundation. If me and my wife both have to work, my mother's there to help out with the kids, which is great to have that support. So being able to have that freedom, knowing that I can trust my children with family, loving family, I can go to work with not having to worry, what's going on. My kids are at daycare or at school and whatnot. So that has definitely been the biggest support. Also, the managing partners at the Bradford office, they are there for me whenever I need them to be. And just having that support, helping me grow my business, learn the business, has been completely instrumental.
Excellent, excellent. And so you have 3 young girls. You mentioned that your wife also has a business. So you've got 2 entrepreneurs in the family.
Yes.
How do you balance that family time, personal life with all that you have going on?
Well, it's not easy, but I was actually thinking about that question and having the discussion with my wife, and it's not necessarily a balance. It's just knowing your roles.
Right.
I know that I'm Sam Sasso first. I have to take care of myself first. Then I'm a husband, I'm a son, I'm a father, I'm a realtor. So knowing my roles, knowing when I have to give 100% to each role, that allows me to really be the best that I can when I have to dedicate myself to each individual position. So that's what's
it's all a give and take. Yeah.
It's all a give and take.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nice, nice. And you have just recently gotten very active in the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
Very, very briefly, because I know we're running out of time.
Yep.
Tell the audience a little bit about what the Chamber has meant to you in that business growth.
Sure. The Chamber has been another instrument in my success. What I love about the Chamber is the networking. I love the fact that it promotes, businesses within the greater Haverhill area. I think that's important, that each business owner is able to get their name out there in the community so that we can all support each other, because that's really what it comes from. So the networking events, meeting new business owners, getting new ideas, being active, being social, I think that's all been a really big key for me.
Excellent. Well, we are appreciative of your participation, for sure, and your leadership, so thank you.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have today, Sam. It
All
goes
right.
by so fast,
Yes,
but
it
thank
does.
you for being with us.
Thank you
And
for
to
having me.
our audience at home, thank you so much for watching. Don't go anywhere. We have another guest coming right up. Welcome back to Your Chamber at Work. Our next guest is Brenda Burkholder, Marketing Director for Nichols Village. So great to have you here today, Brenda.
Thanks, Stacey.
Absolutely, absolutely. So for those that don't know Nichols Village, it's a senior living community located just down the road a little bit in Groveland. Wonderful place, not your typical retirement community, I would say. There's some very unique things going on there. Tell us a little bit more about Nichols Village.
Well, thanks, Stacey. We are for people who are 62 and better. Okay.
I love that.
We have about 120 people, and we're a nonprofit community. We're unique. We're one of a kind. Nobody else is like us. Actually, I'll tell you where we came from. There was a gentleman named Woodburn Nichols, and he grew up in Groveland in the late 1800s, early 1900s. He lived there, and he married a woman named Clara, and he also became a banker, and he also was a clothier in Haverhill. And so he never had any children with Clara, but when he passed away in 1925, he left a sum of money in order to grow to build a senior community in Groveland. So
How wonderful to have that foresight,
yes,
you know,
it's
back
great
almost 100
foresight.
years ago.
That's right, and that's one of the things I really think is very interesting about Nichols Village, and many people feel the same way. So originally they were supposed to build the community in Groveland or in Haverhill, but then at the homestead it was too small, so they got two farms together and put them together, and they created over 90 acres of land for Nichols Village to be settled on. And so people who come to Nichols Village really love the countryside.
Right.
There are a lot of different communities out there. But if people come to Nichols Village, one of the things is because it's countryside.
Right.
They don't want to go to a city. They want to go to the countryside. Also, our apartments and cottages, we have 78 apartments and 16 cottages. And they all are built with large windows, so it's very light. And that's the first thing that most people say when I take them on tours is, oh, wow, look at all the windows, it's so light in here. So it's naturally built so that you can bring the outside into your living area.
Sure, place you want to be, for sure. For people considering Nichols Village as their home, what kind of choices do they have?
Well, the choices they have in senior communities is, well, we have independent living only with services. Okay, and I'll explain that in a minute.
Sure.
There are other senior communities out there that have assisted living.
Yes.
Some communities have skilled nursing, and other communities also have the memory care. So there's 4 different levels of care: the independent, the assisted, the skilled, and the memory care. So when you're looking for a community, you need to think about what your needs are and figure out which community is best for you. And I tell people when they come in for tours to go look at everything so you know in your heart what is best for you.
Right.
So we have independent living with services. We have a coordinated home care program, and they provide skilled nursing and assisted living, like supportive care services like bathing and showering, food preparation, companion care. The skilled nursing.
All the activities for daily living, right?
That's right,
Yes.
all the activities of daily living. So that's like the assisted living part of ours. But you hire care at home on an as-needed, pay-as-you-go basis. You don't pay for it unless you need it.
Right.
And so that's our model, the independent with services if needed. And then there's other communities out there that have different models. So it's best to research.
Sure,
do your
absolutely.
research.
But it sounds like there's enough resources available at Nichols Village to help them age in place.
That's
for
right,
a good long time.
and you hit the nail on the head. Aging in place, nobody wants to move again.
Right.
So if you think that's the best model for you, Nichols Village is the place to be to remain independent. And the people who come to Nichols Village, they want to remain independent. They really have an independent mind.
Sure they do. Yeah.
So when you live around people who are independent, you tend to be more independent.
Right.
Because everybody around you is independent.
Yeah.
So things happen. So you unfortunately, people get injured and they go in the hospital, they get sick, but then they come home and they hire the services,
Right.
whatever they need, and they pay for the services only when they need them.
Right. Excellent. Excellent. So in my visits there, I've noticed that the common space has such a warm, inviting feel to it, and the residents seem to really enjoy, each other and have a tight-knit community going on. And I know that's not by accident. Talk a little bit about what goes into fostering that type of environment.
Well, that's a good observation. I appreciate that. Well, we're small, like I said before, we're about 120 people. And so the fact that we're small, we're not part of a corporate kind of organization. I'm not saying anything bad about corporations, but we are very small, one of a kind, unique. And we can kind of, if people are interested in activities and they don't necessarily see an activity at Nichols Village, they can talk to our activities director or a wellness coordinator and say, hey, I'd like to get this program started. And they will help them create that program, so it's part of them. We listen to them. I think that's what it is. The staff and the residents talk to each other, and we listen to each other as best we can. I mean, no place you go is going to be perfect.
Of course.
But in general, like you said, that was an observation you made. We're very welcoming and friendly community, and I'm just happy to be working there, because who doesn't want to go to a happy place to work?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
the residents are very happy too. So.
I agree. That was my observation too. Everyone seemed to love where they live. They love their apartments or their cottage, and they love being with each other as a group. So that's kudos to you. Do you currently have a waiting list, and how do what's the availability of the units over there?
Yes, we do have a waiting list. There are about 45 people on the waiting list right now. Now, there are everybody on the waiting list is not waiting for the same thing. Right. We have one bedroom with a den, two bedroom with a den, and cottages. So they're all waiting for different things. Also, we have two types of residency plans. One is a rental plan, which is rare to find. We have rentals. And also, the other plan is called a lifetime refundable tenancy, and that's where you put a large sum of money down, and then you pay a common fee every month.
Okay.
And that LRT fee, that lifetime refundable tenancy fee, that large sum of money, comes back to you or your estate either at 100% or 90%. 100% after 5 years if you move out after 5 years, and 90% under 5 years. So that's how the money comes back to you or your estate. Lifetime refundable tenancy, that's that plan. And the rental is basically a rental.
Sure.
So everybody on my list, too, of the 45 people, they're at different places in their process of moving.
Okay.
So this sounds kind of funny, but I categorize them for the purposes of explaining the wait list. I categorize them from cold, which is kind of weird, cold, warm, and hot. But to explain that to people, hot people are ready to move, warm, maybe, cold, they're not ready to move. So when I say 45 people, everybody's not waiting for the same thing. They're at a different place in their process.
So it would be appropriate for interested folks to still come and tour and talk to you about an opportunity to move at some point in time.
That's right. And there's no pressure to move in now. You get on the wait list. I suggest if you think Nichols Village is where you want to come, you get on the wait list as soon as possible, because then you're in line. And if I call you and you say you're not ready, that's okay. Say no. I don't drop you to the bottom of the list. You stay where you are.
Right.
And it's best to get on the list and in line, so you're prepared.
Excellent.
For the future.
Sign me up. No.
That's what most people say.
I'll say 30 years. No.
Yeah, especially the elders who come in with their adult children. The adult children say, "Oh, where do I sign up?"
Yeah,
they want to
exactly.
come. So it's interesting.
Well, Brenda, we are out of time for today, but it's been such a pleasure talking to you and hearing more about Nichols Village. I look forward to my next tour there for sure. And to our audience at home, please give a call to Nichols Village. We'll provide all the contact information for you at the bottom of the screen. Set up a time to see the facility with Brenda. You won't be disappointed, I'm sure. Stay tuned for our next guest. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Your Chamber at Work. Our last guest is someone I'm very happy to introduce to you, Ashleigh Bergh, the brand new membership coordinator at the Greater Haverhill Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for being here with us, Ashleigh.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Stacey.
It's been a pleasure having you in the office, and now I'm glad to have you here on TV.
It's fantastic. This is a home away from home in a way for me, so it's nice to be able to marry those two things together.
Absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of that, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, your background, and where you're coming from?
Sure, absolutely. So I am a born and raised Haverhill resident, graduated from Haverhill High School in 2006, very proud Hilly. And I spent most of my post-grad years working in the nonprofit sector, mostly doing relationship management, volunteer training, volunteer recruitment. I moved out to Los Angeles for a couple of years, but just moved back in August. And I'm super excited to hit the ground running with the chamber and get stuff started.
Excellent. We are excited to have you, and in just a couple of short weeks, you've really done so much already in terms of helping with our events. You've seen a lot, you've done a lot.
I have. It's been great.
Excellent. Thank you so much. What interested you in working at the chamber? You know, what piqued your interest when you first saw that job post?
Sure. So I saw the posting come up and I thought, you know, this is a community that I'm really passionate about. Like I said, I've born and raised here. I've spent most of my whole life here. I've frequented the businesses downtown. I have my regular haunts, my restaurants, the bars that I go to, you know, places I get my hair cut. And I thought, what better way to give back to this community than to be a part of the chamber, where we do so many different things between the events like the Christmas Stroll and Kids Fest, where we get to actually be boots on the ground, interacting with community members, families, you know, other business people. But also we get to work with nonprofits. We get to work with small business owners, large business owners. There is such a plethora of opportunity with the chamber that being able to actually give back to my community and participate in my community this way was an opportunity I just couldn't pass up.
Well, we're glad you saw it our way.
Me too.
So I know just in a couple of weeks that you've really developed some ideas and thoughts and plans around not only programming, but membership deficits, et cetera, and things you're going to work on. Share with us a little bit of, you know, about your plans and some of the things that you've seen so far.
Absolutely. So I think the challenge for any nonprofit or any community organization is keeping the community engaged and bringing in new people. Haverhill has 60,000 residents and has thousands upon thousands of businesses, way more than I would have ever expected. And many of those businesses and groups are not chamber members. Right. And I see nothing but positives as being a chamber member. So my goal is to really get out there and start meeting people and conveying what those opportunities include, letting them know what the benefits are of being a chamber member. I think that if you are a business owner, if you're part of a nonprofit organization, even if you're an individual that's just looking to network and be a part of something greater, there are tons of opportunities that the chamber provides for every single person in every walk of life. I also really love the opportunities that for women that the chamber offers as well. So that really attracted me, and I want to be able to help participate in that more and bring more women into the fold. In addition to that, I also am really excited to announce that we're starting a young professionals group next year. We're going to have our kickoff meeting in January. There seems to be a lot of interest in our young professionals in the Haverhill community, whether they are part of local businesses, whether they work outside of the city but still live in Haverhill. We really want to be able to have an opportunity for young professionals to get together, to learn from each other, to network with each other, but also be able to communicate with leaders in the community. You never know when somebody might be able to be a mentor or might be able to provide skills that you may not be able to learn on your own. And so I think that there's a lot of want and need there. I think that Haverhill is sort of on the cusp of really bringing back a younger generation. Growing up here, I always heard about people graduating and leaving and never coming back, and I want to stop that from happening. I think Haverhill is an amazing place to live, amazing place to eat, work, play, and so I want to be able to help foster and grow that community.
I would agree. I have seen, just in the couple of years that I have been here in Haverhill, I have really seen an about face in the city.
Absolutely.
You know, I see a younger generation coming back, wanting to participate, you know, wanting to contribute and be part of the greater community. And there's so much opportunity here right now with the Harbor Place project, really kind of helping people and helping investors springboard into other opportunities and new businesses. It's really an exciting time here in Haverhill.
It's very exciting. And Haverhill offers so many things for so many people. As a young professional, there's so many opportunities here. All of the bars and restaurants are walkable. You can drive 20 minutes to the beach, an hour to the mountains, take the train into the city. It's really accessible. And then if you're somebody who's looking to start a family, it's affordable. There are beautiful neighborhoods to really kind of dig your roots and stick around. And I think that that's a wonderful place to grow up and to be a part of and to put some roots in and be long-lasting members of the community. So I hope with this group we'll be able to really keep people around for quite some time.
I think so. I think you're going to grow some really great leaders out of that group. They'll be our next set of you know, city officials, so to speak, and be leading the organizations and the nonprofits too.
Absolutely.
To a next generation.
That's the goal.
Yes, yeah. In the short time that you've been with the chamber, what have you found to be the best thing about working at the chamber? Obviously, it's making business connections, but you know, what else would you like to note?
I would say probably the best thing is really getting to talk to people in the community. You know, we get to hear from so many different people, so many different business owners, so many different community members, and I think being able to hear their positive experiences and their grievances and their problems is really what I'm interested in. And I love to talk to people. I love to see, you know, smiling, happy faces. When we were at the Christmas stroll this past weekend, all I saw were happy people in Haverhill, which makes me happy. And so being able to be part of that community and really get out there and meet people, I think is the best part about this job. It makes it less work and more fun, which I think is a great thing to have. Not many people can say that about their jobs.
That is true. That is true. And yet we're still helping.
Absolutely.
Helping businesses grow. We're advocates, and a lot of even smaller businesses don't realize that we do that we take on that role, that we are their voice sometimes at the State House here in Massachusetts or at City Hall here in Haverhill. And it's a role that we enjoy and we're happy to provide. And then, of course, all the opportunities for education and personal growth and professional growth. What's not to love?
Yeah, it's a really exciting time to be a part of the Chamber. It's a really exciting time to be part of the city. So I'm excited to hit the ground running.
Well, welcome to the Chamber.
Thank you.
Officially.
Thank you.
If anyone at home is interested in speaking with Ashleigh more about membership, about opportunities that the Chamber offers currently, about our upcoming Young Professionals group, please feel free to reach out to her. The office number is 978-373-5663. She can also be reached via email at ashleigh@haverhillchamber.com. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Your Chamber at Work. We look forward to seeing you next time.